Hello friends, welcome back to my channel JJ Bros Agriculture. I am Jagdish and I am here to teach you some basic concepts about agronomy and agriculture. So let's start today's session. Intercropping is beneficial when land equivalent ratio, LER means land equivalent ratio. Land equivalent ratio, this is defined as yield of crops in intercrop. Yield of crop A in intercrop A and B divided by yield of A as sole crop plus yield of B as intercrop by yield of B as sole crop. Okay, so if this value is greater than 1, then we must say that intercrop is beneficial and we recommend that you should go for intercropping. So if LER is equal to 1.10, if the value of LER for that intercropping system, if it is 1.10, then we must interpret that there is 10% yield advantage. 10% yield advantage if we are going for intercropping than sole cropping. Okay, so there is the intercropping is beneficial for that situation. Okay, so 1 meter cube gobar gas plant require 2 to 3 animals to feed. To sustain 1 meter cube gobar gas plant, we require 2 to 3 animals. Okay, so there are different types of gobar gas plant. Here is the floating gas holder type, another is fixed dome type. Okay, here this is the mixing tank, then this is the digester, this is the biogas collector, then there's the overflow tank. Okay, this is the outlet pipe. This is floating gas holder type biogas plant. Then this is fixed dome type biogas plant. Here the dome is fixed. Here this is a slurry of cattle dung and water is mixed here, and here this is the digester and this is the overflow tank. Okay, so there are different types of biogas plant. So our main question was for 1 meter cube gobar gas plant, how many animals we require to get their manure or to get the excreta for the digestion. Okay, so there are different days, we must remember them. They're important from exam point of view. World Forest Day, that is 21st March. Then World Water Day, 22nd March. Meteorological Day, that is 23rd March. Then Earth Day, 23rd April. Like that. Environment Day, 5th June. Okay, Ozone Day, 18th September. Then Food Day, 18th October. Okay, so these days are important. Like Farmers Day also, that is 23rd December. These days are important, you have to mug up all these days. Next, first stable product of CAM plant. Do you know what is CAM plant? CAM means crustacean acid metabolism. Example like pineapple, agave, sisal, those are CAM plant. Actually their stomata opens during night and they are very efficient in terms of water use efficiency, because during day the stomata are closed, the transpiration rate is highly reduced. Okay, the first stable product of CAM plant is malic acid. Okay, then C4 plants, the first stable product is oxaloacetic acid and malic acid, and in C3 plant 3 carbon compound, that is PGA, phosphoglycerate acetate. Okay, so these are also important in terms of exam point of view. Then dwarfing gene. Okay, before that there's some points you have to remember about C3, C4, the differences. Okay, let me tell you, C3 plant, the plant exhibiting C3 pathway, called C3 plant. About 95% of the plants on the earth are of C3 type. Okay, C4 plants, the plants exhibiting C4 pathway are called C4 plants. C4 plants live in hot, moist, or non-saline habitat. It occurs in grasses, sugarcane, maize, sorghum. These are the examples of C4 plants. C4 cycle is the alternative pathway of Calvin cycle. This is the alternative pathway, Calvin cycle or C3 cycle, taking place during the dark phase of photosynthesis. In the C4 cycle, the first stable compound is 4-carbon compound, that is oxaloacetic acid, we have discussed earlier, hence it is called C4 cycle. The C4 plant show a specific type of leaf anatomy, that is called cranch anatomy. Okay, C4 plants are more efficient in photosynthesis than C3 plants. So you must find out why C4 plants are more efficient than C3 plant. Then there are some basic differences, like in C3 plants the leaves do not possess cranch anatomy, but in C4 plants it do have cranch anatomy. The chloroplasts do not have peripheral reticulum. In C3 plants chloroplasts do not have peripheral reticulum, but in C4 plants chloroplasts have peripheral reticulum. In C3 plants chloroplasts are of one type, monomorphic. In C3 plants there are monomorphic chloroplasts, but here in C4 plants they are dimorphic. Okay, bundle sheath cell usually do not contain chloroplast. Here in C3 plant the bundle sheath cell do not contain chloroplast, but in C4 plant bundle sheath cell usually possesses prominent chloroplast. Okay, in higher plants operating C3 cycle, the chloroplasts are all granule and have both the photosystem 1 and 2, but in C4 plants the photosystem 2 is absent. In C3 plant mesophyll cell performs complete photosynthesis, but in C4 plant mesophyll cell perform only initial fixation. Okay, then performance of photosynthesis only when stomata are open. In C3 plant photosynthesis occurs only when stomata are open, but in C4 plants even when stomata is closed the photosynthesis occurs. Okay, and C4 plants are photosynthetically more efficient than C3 plants. Okay, so next, dwarfing genes. Throughout the evolution, when we are breeding for some specific character, we mainly breeders are targeting for dwarfing nature, because dwarfing, if we go for dwarfing nature, then they can sustain a huge productivity, they can avoid the biotic and biotic stresses. So there are some genes those who are responsible for dwarfing nature of the plant. In rice, actually the dwarfing gene is DG-osin. In rice that is DG-osin. In wheat that is Norin-10, and in barley Uzusin. They are the dwarfing gene in these plants respectively. So in potato there is a common disease called black heart disease that is caused by anoxic condition, like oxygen deficiency. If that is in some moist condition or oxygen deficiency happens to potato, then black heart disease prevails. There are some year of establishment of some societies, like Indian Society of Agronomy comes in 1955, Indian Science Congress that established in 1914, National Seed Corporation 1963, IADP 1964, IAAP 1964, IADP in 1960, and IAAP 1964, Water Technology Center 1969. This was the previous question of IRI exam. Grow More Food Camp in 1952, National Extension Service 1953. You may go through General Agriculture book for more information. Growth promoters, as we know, auxin, gibberellic acid and cytokinin are growth promoter, and they are found in multiple form. Okay, so harvesting of rice, there are different terms of harvesting for different crops. Harvesting of rice is known as reaping, harvesting of tobacco known as priming, harvesting of fodder crop known as cutting. Then fiber of Quercus capsularis, there are jute, two different types of jute, one is Quercus capsularis, one is Quercus solitarius. The fiber color is of capsularis jute is white, and capsularis is mostly grown jute cultivar, and this is hardy to like submergence and salinity. And Olitarius jute, they are well grown in upland situation, and their fiber color is golden yellow. Okay, so intercropping in mainly there is specific row arrangement followed in intercropping, otherwise that is known as mixed cropping. Okay, so there are two types of intercropping series. One is additive series, what followed in India, and that is replacement series followed in western countries. What happens in additive series, there is a base crop and intercrop is added in between. Okay, but in replacement series, if there are some base crop, then we remove this one, then here introduced another intercrop, that is in replacement series what followed in western countries. Then groundnut, there are two types of groundnut found. One is spreading type, that is procumbens, and there is bunch type, that is fastigiata. Oldest commercial crop, which one is oldest commercial crop? This is cotton. Gray revolution for fertilizer. Okay, so there are some revolution I have mentioned here. One is black revolution, that is Jatro for petroleum product, then blue revolution for fisheries, then brown revolution for leather production, golden revolution for fruits and honey production, green revolution for food grain production, grey revolution for fertilizer production, pink revolution for onion production, red revolution for meat and tomato production, silver revolution for egg and poultry production, then white revolution for milk and dairy product, father of white revolution, Bhag is Korean. Okay, then yellow revolution, oilseed production, evergreen revolution, that is overall development of agriculture. Okay, so father of green revolution in India, M.S. Swaminathan. Father of green revolution, Norman E. Borlaug. Okay, then pH of acid rain, that is 2 to 4.5. Then rainfall intensity versus soil loss, the graph will be exponential. There are different types of graphs like linear, quadratic, exponential, logarithmic. The rainfall intensity versus soil loss graph is exponential in nature. So there are some tag color. For certified seed, generally used blue color tag. For foundation seed, white. For breeder seed, golden yellow. For nuclear seed, no color, the tag has no color. And for truthful level seed, which is not available in Indian condition, that is green color. Okay, so there are different types of soil, problematic soil, mainly divided according to soil reaction. They are mainly divided into two types. One is acidic soil, another is alkaline soil. Alkaline soil mainly divided into saline soil, then alkali soil, then saline alkali soil. Some of the characteristics which are important for general agriculture, those are in saline soil, the pH generally less than 8.5 and EC greater than 4, ESV less than 15, pH less than 8.5, EC less than 4, ESV less than 15, and that is called white alkali, and in Russian term that is called Solenchuk. And in alkaline soil, the pH is greater than 8.5, EC less than 4, ESV greater than 15, that is called black alkali soil, and Russian term that is called Solenets. The saline soil is called Solenchuk and alkali soil called Solenets. In saline alkali soil, there the pH is greater than 8.5, EC also greater than 4, ESP also greater than 15. Here the preponderance of sodium and hydrogen ion both, so that is called saline and saline alkali soil. Okay, so to prevent the orchard planted from wind flow, wind breaks are planted in northwest direction. This is most important, you have to remember this one. Wind breaks are planted in northwest direction. Types of animal feed, one is hay, that is dried crop residue. One is silage, that is fermented product of residues. One is soilage, that is fed when still at green stage. These are three types of animal feed. Okay, so this is the end of another lecture. If you like the lecture, then just subscribe and share the video among your friends, and tell them to also subscribe my channel for more updates. And if you have any doubts on you have any interest in other chapter, then just comment me in the comment box to clarify that in the next video. Okay, thank you for watching.